Hello, everyone. Today is my training day. I wanted to incorporate some of my training with some live training for you guys. I know that a lot of you are not able to come to our meetings, our Avon Wings team. So you have asked me to start doing more live trainings that you can participate. So I'm here and I'm also training everybody else who wants to be part of our training. So I have some tips today. Today's topic is about the working Avon representatives, those who work outside the home. So I wanted to wait a little bit for everybody to hop in and so we can get started. Hi, Maria and Gina. Thank you for being here with us, with me. So the reason why I wanted to do this training, it was because I worked for many years and I was an Avon lady. So at least I think I took for granted the fact that I work a full-time Avon business now, but it didn't used to be like that. So I'm gonna share some tips of what works for me so that some of you who are working on your millions and still have a full-time job, that you generate some ideas of what I'm gonna share here with you. So I feel your pain. I have been working with my representatives, the ones that work outside their homes, with calls, with 5-10 minute calls, whatever time they have to be on the phone with me. And I have been looking back and reflecting on the time that I used to work my business full time. And I feel the pain, I feel their pain because they have to mingle with, family. They have to mingle with kids, taking them to school, rush hour traffic in the morning, then getting to work and dealing with their co-workers, their boss, the general situation. If this sounds familiar to you, then give a shout out because I was there. Everyone was there at one point. So I know what you're going through, and I want to be, I want to connect with you and the fact that this is only temporary, you guys. I know that some of you are working and you're very happy at your job and you're supplementing your income with Avon. However, there are some of you who have a full-time job, but you have a dream of one day making your Avon business full-time. So if this is something that you are looking forward to do, whether it is supplementing your income or to one day leaving a job, a full-time job, and working your business full-time, you must write it down. Because even if you're not ready to leave your job right now, things can change. And I call my Avon business, I always did, even when I had a full-time job and my husband had a full-time job, I always called it Plan B. And, as you know, my husband has a career. He's a career firefighter. He earns a great income, an income that some women would allow some women to be able to stay home and build a family and not have a job outside the home. However, that wasn't, for us, that was never an option because I grew up with the values that if you are in a relationship, if you are in a marriage, you must be able to contribute to your household. So when we talk about contributing to your household has to do with backing each other up. For example, if someday the job is not producing the same amount of money, then they have your job and your career to fall back. You can have an income so you can pay your own things. So you can maybe set up a savings plan so you can take your family on a vacation. But for us, having two people working at the house, at the home, has always been a must. It has never been an option. So I have always been a working mom. I have 3 kids, and my first 2 kids. With the first 2 kids, I was in the military, so I only had 45 days to recover from my maternity, and then I had to go back to work, and my kids went to a babysitter. With the first one, and then the second one, and then with our last son, it happened. The same thing happened. I was 6 weeks off of work. I had a full-time county job by then with benefits, but I had to be back to work in 6 weeks. So I remember, and I like to tell this story because a lot of people think that we got here out of luck and that we didn't have to suffer and we didn't have to make sacrifices. We did. So I like to share a little bit of my story before we start the training so that you can maybe relate to some of the things that I share with you, and you can either help your situation or help a team member who is struggling and going through the same thing. I remember with our last son that I didn't have a babysitter. I was struggling to find a babysitter, and I remember walking through my neighborhood with Austin. I was pushing the stroller and I was almost crying. I was like, man, I don't want to go back to work. I was nursing him, and by the way, I nursed all 3 of our kids while I was working. Our first one for 9 months, and our second one, our daughter, for a year. And Austin, I nursed him for 9 months, and I was working. I was there with them for 45 days, and then I went to work, and then I continued being a mother. So I remember walking, and I was praying to God. I said, God, please just send me somebody that can take care of my son, that would be good for him. I have to go back to work. We had purchased our second home, and we didn't sell our first home, so we had 2 mortgages. One house was rented, but the other one we had a mortgage. So I needed my income. So I was almost crying on my own. And I met one of my neighbors, and she saw me, and we started talking. And she said, I told her what was going on, and she said, you know what, my aunt, she stays home. I'm gonna ask her to see if she would keep Austin. Oh my God, I got chills, because I think that just something came to me. My prayers came, and they were answered that afternoon. So the next day, we took Austin to a babysitter. We met with her a few days before. Monday, I took him to a babysitter, and he was really happy. And then we were able to afford a daycare, so he started going to school, to a new daycare. So I'm telling you all these stories because we all started struggling. We started with a lot of situations, and even though you might think that it's not the same thing for everybody, it is. And I want you to take your experiences and become strong and appreciate when it does work out, that you will take that and not give up on your dreams. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be so difficult, you guys. especially when you are thinking that it's something that you're doing as a hobby. Well, if it's a hobby, then you're not expecting money. You're expecting when it's time, when you can make time, when things are good, when you're happy, you just give out books. But if it's not a hobby and you're looking to either supplement an income or maybe learn the business so that when you retire, you can still continue to have a great income that you have built and the knowledge that you have built by having an Avon business. So that for me has always been my biggest thing, to be able to be able to give to the household, to an income to the household to help my husband. And it has worked out. So I'm going to give you some tips. I just wanted to, to give you a little bit of history behind the happy face. Because for a lot of you, you always see me smiling and you think that I am just the luckiest girl in the whole wide world. and it's just happens with a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. I have a great support from my husband, but that wasn't always like that. Carlos always wanted me to just contribute a little bit to the household and not do more, because we had the kids' responsibility. But I always wanted more. We are both very ambitious and centered on moving forward. We really complement each other and we help each other out. So if you're able to talk to your spouse, to your support at home, by all means, talk to them and show them. If you have to show them this video, please do that. Grab some popcorn and a big screen TV if you if you want. I heard that, by the way, that some of my team members actually do that. So I'm like, guys, just make it fun and show it to your spouse. Look, this lady, whether you're on our team or Avon Wings or not, just say this. I want you to hear this story. That was the introduction of this video. So that they can maybe relate to what it is that you're doing, and that is, it's a journey that requires consistency and persistence. So I'm gonna give you some tips. When I was working a full-time job, I started going crazy when my sales started growing. I was overwhelmed. I was doing deliveries. I remember my husband also on his days off, I would tell him, okay, go do this delivery. And even though I would love when he did the deliveries, because the ladies would actually pay him faster. And I'm going to tell you his secret. His secret was, hi, I'm here for, to deliver your Avon order. And then he would give it to them, and then he would go like this. He would tell me later how did he collect the money, because and then the ladies were used to saying, oh, can I pay you in a few days because I don't have the money now. And they would do that to him. But then he would say, I'm not supposed to do that. Milagros told me to collect the money. You can, if you have a check, just write me a check, because if I go home without the money, she will kill me. So, after a while, they got used to him. So if you have a husband that has some kind of time off that could do deliveries, that could be an option for you guys. So he always came home with all the orders delivered, the money. That was like the perfect scenario. But still, it was overwhelming. I sometimes had to work Saturdays and Sundays to deliver orders. And even though they were local, you know that it takes time. Your customers, they want to they want to make you coffee, Cuban coffee, as the tradition. And they want to make you lunch. They want to spend time with you. Some of the ladies, they were lonely and they just wanted to talk to me. And sometimes I wanted to talk to him too. So he would get lunch in his deliveries too. So I know it was a lot of fun, but I was working a full-time job. So my business grew to almost 300 customers from work and also from my neighborhood. I had no life. I had 3 kids, big orders, and it just got overwhelming. So I had to make a choice. I said, I either give up my Avon business or I have to realign what it is that I'm doing, because it was that overwhelming. My orders started increasing, and they, my customers were placing large orders. So it was something that I was enjoying, but not the time that I had free. Sometimes we have family barbecues that I couldn't go because I had to do delivery. Sometimes we had to go on vacation. We couldn't even go on vacation because I was overwhelmed delivering orders even on my neighborhood. And it all happens with fundraisers, you guys. So I did 2 fundraisers when the fundraisers were not even heard of in Avon. And then that's how I increase my sales and my customers. So for those of you who run a full-time job and you want customers' orders and you want to sell at least $1,500 or $1,600 to make at least $700 extra every 2 weeks, consider fundraising to increase your orders and your earnings. That way you have more customers ordering from you. But I'm gonna tell you, and I have shared this in other videos, that I had to contact most of my active customers, and I had to tell them, it's getting overwhelming. I am gonna have open houses at my house on Saturdays from 12 to 4 p.m. Can you pick up your order? I will not charge you tax or shipping, and I will give you great deals on the products that I already have on my inventory. Plus, I will cook, and we would have a nice time together. So, but my thing was that they had to come pick up their orders between that time and that time. Now, sometimes, sometimes back then there was no e-store, by the way. There was no, no e-store whatsoever. So an e-store was not an option. Either deliver or they can pick up, you guys. So I want you to imagine that. Now it's a lot easier with social media, with e-store, but you still have customers that want the personal contact, that want you to talk to them. They want a live person. They don't want a person that's just, selling online. So they came. So I had to give up some of them because they were not willing to. They were older ladies. They either were too busy and not willing. So I lost a lot of customers, but I also gained a lot of new ones. And they started coming Saturdays. Some Saturdays I was not able to do the open house, but I always let them know, listen, I'm not doing the open house this Saturday, but you can come on Sunday. I'll be here on Sunday from this day to this day. And then the average customer orders that I had was between 20 and 40, sometimes more during the holidays. So my open houses had no chairs. It was only the table, buffet style, however you want to call it. I had food, fingers food. I made some drinks, light drinks, because I knew they were driving back home. So they spent some time with me, and then they picked up the order. They bought other products that I kept there in my inventory, and they went home. And they were happy about that. So that's an idea. Instead of doing a lot of deliveries, you have to consider being able to cutting back. and schedule open houses. You just have to be consistent. For those of you who have seen my upbringing in the business, you know that I consistently, unless we're traveling, I consistently do my Stay Connected meetings on Wednesdays. Whether they come or they don't come, I make myself available for my team. So now that the meetings during the summer have been slowed down, they're gonna go up as the holiday excitement goes up. You're gonna have more attendance on your meetings, but don't stop them just because you have no attendance or little attendance. Make sure that you have a time set up so that your customers can pick up your orders. You can also train your team, and you can invite prospects to meet with you at your home. Okay? Let me get some questions because I see a lot of you posting. So hi everyone, make sure you have your questions, so that's what the live chat is for. And good morning everyone. Good morning Stephanie, Sandra, Jasmine, Tracy, Rosa, Aliyah. My mom is here too, Maria. Maria Beltran, she's my mom. So she's on Facebook. Kathleen, hola Mila. Oh, my mom, mi mamá. Good morning, Paula. We'll watch the replay, absolutely, from my full-time, yes, when I get home from my full-time job. Awesome, Marsha, yes. Hello. Okay, I love everything you do. I try to duplicate everything you do and have been successful and draw a lot of attention to me when I'm out in the field. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Carlene. She's so excited always, and she's always laughing. Nice. Okay, there you go. Boss lady. Yes, we are boss. We are our own bosses. My 6-month-old future Avon Help says hi. Hi, how are you? What's his name, Jackie? Hans, how are you? Welcome to your new journey. Anitra, thank you for being here. If you had an open house for Avon pickups, when did you find time to pass out brochures to regular customers that may not have an order to pick up? That's next, okay? I'm showing you how that's a great question, Stephanie. I showed you how I downsized from delivering orders and not having a live to having an open house. Remember, I worked a full-time job, and I had 3 kids and a husband and a house, so it was overwhelming. This happened because I had a large clientele and I was the delivery woman having a full-time job. So let's work on how to find customers when you have a full-time job. Take your customers. First, I'm going to tell you about your established customers. Take your customers and maximize what they can do to increase your earnings. For example, you have a customer that knows a lot of people, or you know that knows a lot of people, and you have a great relationship with them. Ask them if they can share your book at work with their friends, and that you will give them some freebies. That's how you maximize your customers, to get them to work for you so that your earnings can increase. And you can give them incentives, like for some of my customers, they prefer free products. So depending on the order size, if they give me $100, then I calculate it at a 20%. So I give them $20 worth of products from the What's New. So basically, it's working with helpers. Instead of finding just customers, make sure you find helpers. And helpers are basically customers who bring you orders from their friends, their household. their co-workers, because they want to help you. They know that you're great with them, so they want to make sure that they help you by bringing you orders. So let's get other questions. What have you done when your customers couldn't make it during that time on Saturday? Did you home or open houses allow them to come individually or something else? I deliver full time. I need to adjust to have time to focus on my team. That's a great question. Yes, there were times when they couldn't come, or when I had another personal affair that I couldn't do my open houses. They would come and pick up their orders at the house. All the orders had no tax, no shipping, so they had an incentive from me, and I always gave them a free gift. That was my my incentive for them. I lived in a quiet neighborhood. Literally, my boxes of Avon could stay in the front door and no one would mess with them. But nowadays it's not the same. Even if you live in a nice neighborhood, there's, people don't respect. So if you have a place where maybe a back door where they can come pick up their order and leave the money while you're working, then you can do that. Or consider scheduling all your routes into one area. But I always made it work. They would come and pick it up during the week. On the next Saturday that I would do the open house. So you're doing it every Saturday, because it's not that long period. So if you miss a Saturday, you're always gonna have the next Saturday. It's not gonna mess up your cycle as much. So that works out. For me, it did. So I hope that helps. At work right now, watching you with my Bluetooth. I know, Ursula, I know you're a busy lady. No one can hear. Our little secret. Yes, I won't tell. Avon Wings. Great question. I have the same problem. I had over $2,000 in sales this campaign, and after deliveries, I barely had time to get brochures to many of my customers. Some were skipped this campaign. I'm going to show you what to do about that. We really need to work on my time management. Okay, let's go through Breezy's question. Okay, that was one of the things that I did with my customers. Let me get some coffee. Okay, they knew that I was busy. Back then, there was no campaign mailer or any other services that you can ship them the books. Plus, I didn't have time to ship out any books. So I told them that they, to at least order every other campaign, because I will not be able to deliver a book if they don't have an order for me. So if they either place an order every campaign if they want the deals, or every other campaigns, and to let me know if they're skipping a campaign, if they need a book, so that for the previous campaign that they did not receive. So those who skipped several campaigns will, have a book from all three campaigns to take advantage of the sales. Now, if a customer would call me and say, Milagros, I have an order for, for months, and I need this product, can you stop by and drop off a book? I tell them, you can stop by this Saturday, or I would have books, a book for you in the front of the door to pick up, or you can use the book that you got from me last time, and I will look at the prices on all three campaigns and will honor it so that you can get the best deal and the best savings. That's called customer loyalty, and you must always do that. if a customer orders a cream that's $40 and you see it in another book for 20, don't charge them the $20. I mean the $40. Charge them the $20 and let them know, listen, I found your favorite cream on a discount. It's at $20 instead of $40. I saved you $20. Do you want to order anything else? So, you know, have fun, be creative, you guys, you know, and build that customer loyalty, because if you're just charging your customers whatever price and you're not looking to save them money, chances are that, you know, they're not going to trust you. So they're going to say, man, I didn't get this book, so I'm not going to place an order because I don't have the deals. So you know what I mean? So I hope that helps. And I hope that helps you, Breezy. Alice, this is what I do. I have customers who attend a senior center. She gets me a lot of orders from other seniors, and I either give them a free gift, or depending on the size of the order, she gets it. She gets her order for free. Very good, Alice. Good job. And Molly, you're here. And Kim, yes, that helps a great deal. I'm so glad I clicked on your video. I have learned a lot already, and how to do open heart because of overwhelming. Go out. Wow. That's great. Thank you so much. That's a great testimonial. And Deanna, she's a top seller, so I got some heavy hitters here today. Did you ever give advanced brochures? And I tried that. Yes, that's a disaster, Breezy. I don't do advanced brochures. I only work with one brochure. I don't even give them. That's a great question, by the way. I don't give my customers other brochures, you know, the living or all that craziness amount of papers, because then they look at all the brochures and then they say, oh my God, what is all this? Unless they ask me, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why I don't do that, because I wanna be able to use those brochures to find new customers without hurting my pocket. So I want to be able to tell them, listen, I have, even though I have outlets, I have saving books, I have Avon Living, I have Mark, I have other brochures. If you ever want other brochures, to look at other brochures, you let me know, or I direct them to the website. You go look at the website and look at the categories, and you know, and make your orders from there. Hi, Diana. Thank you for being here. Yes, it is a disaster. Okay, good to know that you only work with one. Yes, Tay. Oh, Carlene, thank you. Yes, you know what? You guys have to make sure that if you work in a full-time job, that you mingle several activities together. Even though I don't have a full-time job, my business is a full-time job, and I have to make it work. So I already covered maximizing potential, working with helpers. Let's talk about the power of three, how to find new customers. And when you do that, you must be consistent. It's not about doing the power of three one day and not doing it ever again. You want to continue to bring in new customers and new business into your business, and that's the only thing that worked for me. When I first got started, you know, I was working a full-time job. There was no online training like it is right now. There was only meetings, and I didn't have time to go to the meetings. So I would get a lot of publications and you know, and booklets, and I saw there the power of three back then. So I said, "Oh, I could do this," and I was so shy to talk to anybody. So the only thing that worked for me to make sure that I met my goal, I put 3 books in my bag. And I will not go home without giving someone a book in their hand. I didn't take names and numbers, you guys. I just gave out those 3 books wherever I had the courage to do it. And let me tell you, it was funny because it took me actually a few weeks to be able to say, okay, I've been putting the same 3 books in my bag and they're not going anywhere. So I need to do something so that this can work out for me. And, you know, just having those 3 books there was a reminder that, you know, I needed to do it. And then once you do it once, it gets better. For those of you who say, oh my God, I can never do that. I can never work myself to do that. Believe me, it's gonna get better. If you look at me now, I have been transformed. I'm not the same person I used to be before. You just don't want to see me how I got started. I was a mess. I didn't even want to talk to people. So, you know, it was something that required, it required a transformation. And then I had to kind of adjust me not, you know, being able to you know, to build the courage to do that. So, okay, trying to say that. Okay. Thank you, guys. So, if write down your questions. If you don't have questions, I'm gonna continue. So, the other thing that I want to talk about. Make you some coffee. I'll be right with you. This is we might have to cut it a little bit short because today's my training day. So I was trying to squeeze a video in between here and there, and there's team members coming in already. But I'm going to show you something I did while I was working a full-time job at my job. I took a basket, and I didn't put my business card back then. I actually got this idea from Rosa of putting the business card on the basket. And the only reason why I didn't do it back then is because everybody knew who I was, and it was a small office. But you know, I'm using this so that I can reach out to a business and put my demo basket for them so they can have products that they can use and try, you know, from me. And I have information here that they can you know, reach out, place orders. There's books in here. There's samples. I always put my my labels, and I have bombitas also here. And then I'm going to tell you the 3 products that I use, okay? Always used. I have a body spray, not a fragrance. You could do a fragrance, but you know, I think a body spray is softer and it's more compatible with everybody. Then I would use the antibacterial, well, we don't have it anymore. So the shower gel works for washing their hands. And I like to use the Mark. Back then I used to use the Planet Spa because it was a high-end hand cream. And I know that a lot of you like the other ones, like silicone, the other one, moisture therapy. But for me, I like flavor. And you know, when I try this cream, I am in love, because even if you're washing your hands, you still have a lot of moisture and it smells so good. This is the lemon. And I put skincare. This is the Skin Invincible. And I put samples, little samples, extras of the, you know, a face cream. Why do I do that? Because if they did not moisturize in the morning, they can always open one and use it and then order it from me. I don't like to put skincare in here, because if they put their hands in there, they can contaminate it and it just won't be good. These baskets are Dollar Tree. They're $1, but you can get other ones that are bundled up to two for $1 or 25 cents, or you can even look at the garage sales, go to the garage sales and the secondhand stores and look for containers like these that you're able to make a few of them so that you can have your demo baskets. You can also do it at businesses, but I'm gonna tell you how it's going to work, okay? If it's at your job, that's controlled by you. People know that you are the Avon lady, okay? I'm gonna tell you, don't do this at every business, because if you put a basket at every business without knowing the people in there, guess what? Your products are either gonna walk away, or the person that tries them is gonna go to another representative and sign up for Avon. You want to make sure that if you're doing this, that it's either at your job or that you have a friend that's in-house, that's your helper, that's collecting orders from you, and you can do this. Because if she's taking orders from other co-workers and they decide, okay, I want to start my own Avon business, who do I contact? Then she's gonna say, okay, look, I got somebody that wants to sign up. And then they're gonna go to you. So, make sure that if you're gonna do this, that you do it that in a workplace that's controlled by you or a friend or a family member, that they can take orders from you, that your products are not going to go to waste. Or if you're going to do it at a business and this is a bathroom setup, you can, if you're going to do it at a business, you can have a fragrance there. You can have fragrances are great for businesses. Hand creams are, just don't include the shower gel. Daily needs, you guys, and products that are flexible. You can have only 2 fragrances, one for men and one for women, and then your books in the back and your samples and your bombitas. But again, it has to be in a controlled business where you have a friend in-house that is able to tell you, hey, look, the books, there's no more books there, so that you can replenish your inventory or whatever it is. And if it's not working out, that you're getting orders and you're getting business from that basket, then consider not doing it in that business anymore. Just move on to another business. And I call this like a rent a basket kind of thing. So you can call it whatever you want. And I'm basically want to give a service to either a business or my job, or a coworker or whatever. Give them a business to be able for them to try our products. So I call it rent a basket. I've always have. I don't know why, even though they're not renting it for me, but I put a name into everything. So I remember this actually yesterday. I was talking to one of my representatives. I do 10-minute calls with them, and some of them I call daily. And she was, we were sharing ideas, and I told her, look, Tammy, why don't you do a basket at your job? So rent a basket, even though you're not really renting the basket, but that's what I call it, rent a basket. So that's what I have for you, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Carlene, that's okay. You can watch the replay. You guys can watch a replay. It's gonna be here, and I'm also going to have it on my YouTube channel, Avon Wings. Also, a last tip, okay? Consider having a I did this. This is funny. I did this. And it was so much fun. I had, it was not this, of course. It was a container, and I put it on my job, and I had different pieces of jewelry, okay? So when they go to my job, and they can wear that jewelry for the day, whatever kind of jewelry they have, and then when they got old, then I replace them. But I buy so much jewelry from Avon that, you know, that is like, you can never have enough jewelry. So I had, you know, like you can set it up in a nice dish so that they can use it. Some of them won't do it, but some of them will. You know, just the necklaces. I wouldn't do the earrings because the earrings are more personal. But the necklace, you know, so they can wear it for a day at the office, and have some jewelry there on display, so you can say, oh look, this looks nice on you, why don't you wear this with your nice outfit? And a lot of times they purchase it. They say, okay, this is mine. And if you don't want to have it in a container, just leave it inside the box so that they can open it and wear it, and they have it for themselves. I just So I hope that's also a great tip, so that you can always, you know, interact with your coworkers at work and generate more sales and have fun with your business. I give you a lot of tips for working representatives. Share this video with your team. It might help them also. Give them hope so that they know that they're not going to continue to have the same, you know, I had a mundane life when I was working a full-time job, even though I had a lot of fun, but the earnings were just bad. So I said, man, if I had to spend the rest of my life making this kind of money, I think I'm not going to be a very happy person. So that's why I joined Avon, because even though a lot of people say, oh, I might not make it, you know what? I rather work endlessly the rest of my life towards a goal. Even if I don't make it, I'm going to live happier than, you know, not taking a step to better myself. So let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say that you are going to retire with your mundane job and your, you know, boring life. You're going to be so much happier every day because at least you gave it a try. You actually did something about it, you guys. It's not about, okay, I'm going to work for the rest of my life and then retire poor. You already know how much money you're gonna make when you retire. That's not a secret. If you're working this amount of years, you know that when you retire, you're gonna make this retirement. Is that retirement gonna be enough for you to survive? And not to say, you know, God willing, that you don't lose your job and your retirement and then you have to start all over again. So if you like the products, if you like the company, if you like the business, if you like yourself, because you gotta like yourself, then do something about it, and, you know, just be happy, you guys, and take all these ideas and the rent a basket and my you know, my jewelry bucket, and explore some new possibilities, because you never know what's gonna come out of any little idea that you take from any other representative. So watch everyone's live videos and learn from everybody and get inspired from everybody. So I will see you on the next live video. I'm gonna take a break because I have team members here already waiting for me. You want to say hi? No, they're shy. So I'm gonna be doing the Spanish video later on, maybe at 2 p.m. When I'm done with the meeting. So thank you so much, and continue to work on your millions. It's worth it. Thank you everyone for being here and for listening to me. I know I talk a lot, but I hope I inspire at least one person in this video. Bye.